So I've been thinking for a while now, which part of my gun shall I put my GoPro as a scope cam? Because I don't have any run cam or a scope cam that I can buy. So here I am with another video in hand, a Sherlock spray paint in hand which is empty. I'm gonna be using this as my target for now for the testing of the positions of my GoPro in my gun. So I'm gonna be placing it far away from me. Here we are with the first position of the GoPro, which is gonna be looking directly inside the scope. Now, as you can see, it's very bright. The cheap camera is not able to pick up the brightness outside the scope. Now let's try shooting with the gun laying steady in a table. And yes, as I expected, it still won't pick up the brightness outside the scope. In an airsoft match, this won't be very good and it's not gonna be effective for me. Moving on to the next position, the GoPro is mounted on the scope. I used this in my first video and it's good enough for you guys to see my enemy when I'm shooting at them. As you can see here, I'm not holding my gun properly. That's because the scope wasn't mounted properly. So I'm doing my best to position myself in the best position I can see through the scope. And yes, I have a GoPro extension mount in my gun as a monopod. I actually used this once in a game, but it wasn't that effective, so I'm not using this again. It hinders my movement and my mobility. It's funny though. Now let's start shooting. This is actually better for me and for you. We can actually see the target. It may be blurry, but it's good enough. Now let's try laying it down. That is way better. I can see through the scope clearly and you guys can see my target. Now this is just me overkilling the can. Come on Mark, stop it. There you go. Now it is concluded and I have chosen that the second position is best for my GoPro. This is what I got for overkilling the can. Yep, the battery died out. And the can survives. Well, I'm gonna get you next time, can. In conclusion, I actually prefer the second position. Because I can actually see through the scope and you guys will have a clearer picture rather than a very bright one of the enemy or the thing that I'm shooting at. It may be blurry, but it's good enough. Just learn to be contented of what you have. Maybe in the future, you'll have a better one, in God's name. Now let's pack everything up. Let's check the can for damage. And wow, look at that damage. Even at a distance, the gun can pierce through plastic. And let's see the can. It may not be piercing through, but it left dents in it. Deep ones, that is. Also, say hi to my dog in the side. His name is Atlas. In here, I muted the audio because there was music playing in the background, so I may get sued or copyrighted. But look at that damage. Well, that concludes everything, and see you in the next video. Wait a minute. If you're wondering why is there smoke in the background while I'm shooting, someone is actually cooking behind me. That's why it's noisy a bit. But it's very good timing though, actually. And yes, it's very good for V-rolls.